We all know the term that girl that's been floating around social media. Not just your average everyday girly, but that girl. The one with her perfect routine and perfect skincare and foods and fitness, etc, etc, etc. I want to get my together. Hi everyone, my name is Rowan and welcome to my channel. I'm super excited to film this video because I've always wanted a YouTube channel and I thought this was the perfect time. I'm already going on this personal journey, or I'm going to start it, so why not film it? I just think it's fun and I love watching these videos on YouTube. So before we fully get into it, I want to address the toxicity around this trend. A lot of people find that it's unrealistic standards and expectations of a woman to be perfect all the time, but that's not what this is about. That is not what we're doing here. We are creating a space that is safe and healthy, and we don't hate on ourselves if we can't do something one day. You know, it's all about becoming our highest selves, and I'm just super excited. These are all things that I want to implement in my life anyway, and I think just putting it in as a That Girl title makes it so much more fun because it's almost like you're playing The Sims. You would play as though that's how you want your life to be. Why not be your own like fictional character? Like I mentioned, there will always be bad days and we're not going to be upset at ourselves if there are bad days. My math teacher always said 80-20. Looking back at it now, I think that's such a good piece of advice. 80% of your days are going to be good, 20% probably won't. Or even if it's like 60-40, and then you can work your way up to 80-20. It doesn't have to be perfect. And on top of that, everybody's perfect looks different. You know, everybody's That Girl looks different. Mine might be different from yours. Your friends might be different from yours. You know, it's all unique and personal, and that's what I love about it. I have a whole in-depth like little checklist. You can take what you want from that. These are the things that are going to work for me, or at least I think they're going to work for me. If they don't, well, then I'll probably toss them to the trash. So with all of that being said, let's get into it. Every day starts with the morning, and personally, I find that when I have a positive morning, it makes a positive pathway for the rest of the day. So that's kind of what I want to try to do every day so that I can have a good day every day and not start off on a bad note. So how I'm kind of creating this positive morning routine, first things first, is to wake up at the same time every day. I heard this is actually really good for your like internal balance. I kind of like the idea. I love routines, so I feel like that's like a good routine to like wake up at the same time every day. I've also seen people who wake up at the same time throughout the weekdays, and then on the weekends or their days off they wake up an hour later. I like that too. It all just depends on how I'm feeling and I'll kind of go with that. But within like the same hour, my goal is to work towards waking up at 7:30. Right now I'm not waking up very early, but I'm going to try my best, but I'm going to do it in increments. I used to do this when I was younger and it actually worked really well. So let's say right now I'm waking up at 9 a.m. I go back by 15 minutes. So I will make sure that I'm up at 9 a.m. for a week, and then I'll push it back 15 minutes to 8:45 and then push it back, and like do that for an entire week and keep going. And it actually works really well to the point where I can get to 7:30 and not be as exhausted as if I was starting from 9 and then just jumping to 7:30. Next thing to keep it positive is to not go on social media in the morning, and I am guilty at doing this. Social media can really affect your thoughts throughout the day, and sometimes it can start you off on a negative day just from seeing one thing on social media. But with that being said, like absolutely go on your phone in the morning. A lot of people don't go on their phone in the morning and people say to not, but I think for a lot of people that's kind of unrealistic because that's how it helps them wake up. Go on your phone in the morning. I probably will. And there are so many things you can do on your phone. You can read, you can journal, you can go on meditation apps, even go on Pinterest. My Pinterest is such a creative place for me. It makes me feel creative and inspired, and it just opens a pathway of creativity for the day. So if your Pinterest is like that, go on Pinterest. I know there are also a lot of religious apps, so that could be your time with God or Allah or whoever you believe in, you know, whatever works best for you. Now with that being said, we will not be staying in bed for longer than 15 minutes, or at least I won't. That's a personal rule for me, because if I do not get out of bed within 15 minutes, I will stay in bed for hours and hours and hours, and sometimes that's just not good because it will make me late for things, and I need to get out of bed. And right when I get out of bed, I'm going to make my bed for two reasons. One, it's a little task that you've already completed. Amazing. Productivity. helps you on the road for productivity for the rest of the day. And 2, it helps me not get back into bed. If my bed is unmade, I will want to go back into bed. And I may very well go back into bed. But if it's made, I don't want to have to remake it. Perfect. And then last thing for the morning is doing my morning skincare and never skipping it. Everybody's different. Some people don't do skincare in the morning. Some people do. I personally do, and I feel a lot better and more awake when I do. So I want to make it a priority because I love skipping my morning skincare. I love skipping it. I just don't do it, or I'll forget to do it. But I really want to make it a habit that I do it. Oh, and always sunscreen. Always sunscreen. Even if you don't do morning skincare, put on sunscreen. I do not put on sunscreen every day, but you should. I will. When working towards being that girl, it is so important to take care of your body, and not just like take care of it for an aesthetic, physical reasons. No. It is because once you're healthy on the inside, things are just easier, they're simpler, you're not as sick all the time, you can do more. It's just better to be healthy. And healthy looks different on everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to be X amount of weight or look a certain way or have abs. No, healthy is different on everybody. Okay, so for starters, we are always going to take our medications and vitamins. Every day we are going to do it. I personally take anxiety meds. When I forget them, I'm not well up here, and therefore my body is not well. And then for my vitamins, I have this little, my mom got me this thing, and it's like Care of. It's a subscription service, but it's not Care of, but it's like Care of, and you get all your vitamins in a little pack. It's so easy and simple. I don't have to go to the store and pick up every single vitamin that I need because I don't even know what I need. You just take a little quiz and they're all here for you, and it's perfect. It's amazing. I have noticed differences when taking my vitamins every morning and every night. It works. It works well. Next, you probably know what I'm going to say because everybody says it, but drink water. Drink water. I know. I don't always drink my water. I don't drink the proper amounts of water, but I really need to. I think mine is 60 to 72 ounces. I'm not 100% sure. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. I think it's like 68 ounces or something, but I'm aiming between 60 and 72 right now. The amount of water you're supposed to have depends on weight, how active you are, age, gender. So, I don't know. I kind of want to look it up to know more, but just drink the proper amount of water and it'll make life so much easier. Apparently, that's what I heard. Next is moving your body daily. So that could mean, I don't know, whatever that means for you. That could be yoga, that could be weightlifting, that could be HIIT workouts, that could be Pilates. For me, I want to focus on 4 to 5 days for Pilates and then 2 to 3 days for yoga. However, if I end up missing a day, I'm not going to be upset at myself for it because things happen and you're not going to be able to go to the gym every day, or you're not going to be able to do a home workout every day. As long as you are trying your best and you're being healthy, that's all that matters. I also want to do 10K steps a day, whether that's on the treadmill or a hot girl walk or even at a job. When I was working at Aritzia, I was getting 10K steps like this. So it really just depends on what works best for you. Moving your body has so many benefits. Like, it reduces stress and anxiety. It reduces depression. It improves your brain health. It reduces risk of disease. It helps you sleep better. Like, there are just so many reasons why moving your body is so important that has nothing to do with the outside. And then finally, for this section, we have fruits and veggies at every meal, or like one or the other. I am terrible at eating my proper amounts of fruits and vegetables. I really do have a sweet tooth. So right now my diet is very imbalanced, and balance is key. So instead of being like this with sweets and fruits and veggies, I gotta be like this. This section is probably the most important section because when your mind is not healthy, you are not healthy. The rest of your body is not healthy. You need to have a healthy mind to be able to work your body properly. These are some tips that I've found on TikTok. My therapist gave me some of these tips, and overall they just help with your mind and building more positive pathways in your brain. So first things first is journaling. I love to journal and just get everything out on a page, whether it's negative or positive or in between. It's just, I think it's so important to be able to put it all somewhere. Like if it's negative, you're getting all of that out. You don't have to worry about feeling like a burden. You don't have to pay a ton of money for therapy, although I do recommend therapy for everybody. I feel like therapy is such a good resource, but I understand that that's not accessible for everyone. Journaling is amazing because you can get all of that out, and you can even help yourself work through things through journaling. Another piece of journaling is gratitude journaling. You can do this in an actual journal. You can do this on your notes app on your phone. Gratitude journaling actually helps reduce stress, creates a more positive mood. It brings optimism towards the future, and it actually helps with your sleep as well. I don't really know how that happens, but it does. And just doing something so small as writing down one thing. And then you can look back at all of the things that you accumulate over time in your list. Be like, wow, yeah, I really am grateful for that. And then you can just see life in a new light. Next is words of affirmation. Now, this is much easier said than done, but it really is so important because it helps eliminate negative thoughts. I also thought that this was really cool because your brain doesn't really have a grasp on reality, so it will believe whatever you tell it. If you tell it negative things about yourself, saying, oh, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, I am stupid, blah blah, this and this and this, your brain's gonna automatically start believing that. But if you switch it up and start saying, I am beautiful, I am successful, I am intelligent, I am kind, your brain will literally create new brain pathways, and you will start seeing yourself in that light instead. I just think that's so cool. I know it's so much harder to do than to think about doing. But really, when you commit to it, it just changes your entire life. Some ideas that I want to do for this, because I do have a really hard time finding positive things about myself sometimes, is look up on Pinterest or on TikTok lists of affirmations and write them down on sticky notes. I can put them on the wall near my bed. I can put them on the mirror in my bathroom. I can have a little sticky note on my computer. Just keep them around so that you can go through them and recite them in your head. And there you go. You are able to still read them even if you can't physically think of some. Next is meditating. My therapist actually swears by meditating. It can really, really help with reducing stress, anxiety, depression, negative thoughts. I have a lot of issues with ruminating and negative feelings, and it can help with that as well. And it doesn't have to be like half an hour long meditation sessions. It can be as simple as 5 minutes. You can even find some that are less than that. I think you can find some that are 3 minutes long. I usually like to do mine between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling that day. I don't meditate a lot. I used to meditate a lot. I wish I meditated more, and that's why it's on the list. There are a lot of free apps. You can go on YouTube and find some meditations, guided meditations, so you're not just sitting there alone with your thoughts. You can focus on somebody talking, and I find it a bit easier. And then finally we have Sunday resets, which you may be thinking, Rowan, how is a Sunday reset helping your mind? I cannot stress this enough. A clean space equals a clean mind. Swear. 100%, that is something that I follow all the time. My room doesn't get very messy because I just function better in a cleaner environment. And when my room is clean, I find that my thoughts are a bit cleaner and my head is not as loud and messy. So for my Sunday resets, obviously I will be cleaning my room, anything that I need to pick up. I'll do my laundry, I'll wash my bedding, I will vacuum if I need to vacuum. This is when I'll do my everything shower. I'll catch up on extra work that I need to make sure that my next week goes easier and smoother. And so we've come full circle. Personally, I find that ending on a positive note at nighttime will help your mornings be more positive and therefore the rest of your day being more positive. Like the mornings, I want to try to go to bed around the same time every night. This just helps with your internal cycle and helps you stay on track. Obviously, this is not going to be possible every single night, and that's okay. Things happen. You stay up later one night, that's fine. But I kind of want to stay within the hour, like waking up, and my goal is to kind of be sleeping between 11:30 and 12:30. Next is to not go on your phone at night, which I am awful at doing. I love to scroll on TikTok before I go to bed, but again, it can just really end things on a negative note, and it can heavily affect your sleeping. Like, it can really, you might find that you stay up later when you're scrolling on TikTok or on Instagram than just putting your phone down and letting yourself sleep. And then, like in the morning, never skip skincare. I will be somebody who just takes off their makeup and will get into bed. I will skip my skincare like this. And that's not what we're gonna do anymore. We are not going to be skipping our skincare. And then finally, do something that's good for your soul before bed. This can look like reading. Again, spending your time with God or Allah, listening to a podcast, watching a movie that makes you feel happy. If ASMR is your thing, watch that. You know, just do something that makes your soul feel good and will help you fall asleep and calm you down. That is everything that I have for my little That Girl guide, and I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are able to take something out of this video. If not, I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and I look forward to doing this journey with you.